What if I told you that running slower can actually help you run faster? Sound crazy, right? Most runners think that building speed comes from really pushing hard, but that's really not the secret sauce. The secret sauce is really learning how to ease up and run at a slower pace. And in this video, we're going to explore how running slow, or what I call easy running, isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Especially if you're a runner over 40 and you want to run smarter, go longer, and stay ageless. Hi, I'm Ralph, and welcome to the Ageless Runner. So let me bust a myth. Slow isn't lazy. Too many runners think that if I want to get faster, I want to improve my pace, I really need to start pushing harder. I need to start running harder in all my runs. I need to build that speed. But that's simply not true. Even elite athletes will tell you they spend 80 to 90% of their running time at an easy or a slower pace. Now, why do they do that? Because that's how you build endurance. It's how you build speed in a sustainable manner. And it's kind of known as the 80-20 rule, where you spend 80% of your training time at a slow pace and 20% at a moderate or hard effort. So there's some things that happen when we run slow. So there's actually some science behind what I'm talking about. One of the first things has to do with our slow twitch muscles, our type 1 muscle fibers that we use when we run slow. These type 1 fibers, they're built for endurance. That's what you're using when you're doing your long runs, when you're doing your half marathons and your marathons. They contract slowly and they're highly resistant to fatigue. And the reason they're important is that type 1 muscles rely on aerobic metabolism, meaning they use oxygen to convert fuel to power the muscle. So that makes them very efficient for long distances. They're especially good at burning fat as a fuel source, and we're always carrying around a little bit of fat in our bodies, right? So if we can burn that fat, convert it to energy, that's great for running long distances. Our type 1 slow twitch muscles help us do that. And we activate them when we do steady, easy runs, we run with low intensity, and we stick to this 80-20 rule that I talked about. Now, the second thing that happens to our bodies is when we do these easy runs is we increase mitochondria. Now, maybe you remember talking about mitochondria from high school or college biology. These are the energy producers in our cells. There's these little organelles inside our cells that produce ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My apologies to any biochemists out there. But that ATP is what powers our muscle. And when we run slow, we produce more mitochondria. It's actually a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. So guess what? We got more mitochondria now. That means we're much better at taking oxygen and fat and carbohydrates and making that ATP that powers our slow twitch muscles. So more mitochondria means our muscles can work actively for longer periods of time before fatigue sets in. And having more mitochondria means we can utilize oxygen better. And guess what? That improves VO2 max. So by running slow, we're increasing the density of our type 1 muscle fibers and the density of our mitochondria. That means we can run longer without fatigue. We can improve our pace with the same heart rate. And we delay needing to tap into our anaerobic energy system, which is without oxygen energy system. So there's sciences there. Now, the other thing that happens when we train slow is we increase our capillary density. In other words, we get more blood, more blood vessels into our muscles. That improves the ability of using oxygen. Again, those mitochondria, we use that oxygen and create ATP that will power our muscles. And since doing that will help us burn fat, we're training our body, giving our body more training time and get more efficient at burning that fat, because when we burn that fat, we're creating energy. And of course, running slow is also good mentally. If we're not out there, exhausted, running harder, pushing harder, we're out there kind of running easy, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the time together, listening to some music or a book or something. It's just more relaxing. So it's very good mentally to also run a little slower. Now, this running slower, this 80-20 rule is again borne out by elite athletes. You think of Eliud Kipchoge. I mean, he will tell you that he spends 80 to 90% of his training time running at an easy pace. Now, granted, his easy pace is going to be a lot harder than even my hard pace. Okay, I probably cannot run at his easy pace, but it's all relative. But he's spending most of his time running at an easy, slow pace for him. And even recreational runners find that if they start running slower, get a lot of their training time at a slower, easy pace, they'll see their race times improve when it comes to race day if they're trying to improve their pace. So the key is consistency. You're running an easy pace, you can get more consistent in your training, increase your aerobic capacity, increase your mitochondria, and just be able to run longer and faster. So then that kind of begs the question, what do we mean by easy pace? What do we mean by running slow? Well, there's a couple measures you could use for that. And depends on the weather conditions and how you're feeling, which one would work for you. In fact, you may use a couple at a time. One is simply perceived effort. If you were thinking, if I'm just sitting here, taking a very easy walk, that may be an effort of 1 or less, and I'm running really hard, I'm running uphill really hard, that might be a 10. You want to run about a 2 or a 3. That's what I mean by an easy pace. Another test is the talk test. If you can hold a conversation, you're running, say you've got a buddy, you can talk in sentences, you can talk in paragraphs, you're not gasping for air. That's an easy pace. I often like to use heart rate, and they often talk about running in zone 2. Zone 2 is 60 to 70% of your max heart rate, and that's a good test. However, I'd also pair that with either the perceived effort or the talk test. Because, for example, in the summertime, when it's hot and humid, your heart rate's going to be elevated because you're sweating so much, you're losing body fluid volume, your heart rate pumps faster. So combined heart rate, also evaluating what's my perceived effort feel like, what's my talk test feel like. Make sure you're getting that slow, easy running pace. And if you're using run, walk, run, again, maybe slowing down the running portion of your interval. Think about taking more walk breaks if you need to, or adding walk breaks. What I will do, if I'm tracking my heart rate gets above whatever level I'm trying to keep it below, I will start walking. I won't wait till my timer goes off that says to walk. I will start walking right away. Again, you want to try and stay in that aerobic sweet spot. When you do that, again, you're increasing the density of your type 1 muscle fibers, you're increasing your mitochondria, you're increasing your endurance, all those things. So it's really important to stay in that sweet spot. So think about during your training, doing at least a couple of runs a week that are slow, easy pace, working towards 80% of your time at slow, easy pace. And when you do your long runs, again, make sure you're running at, heart rate zone 2, low perceived effort, talk test, do all those things. Make sure you're maintaining that easy pace. And if you do a tough race or you do a tough run, and make sure your next run is very easy, really, dial it down. And even if you're short on time in your life, a short, easy run is better than no run at all. So again, running slow doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're building your endurance. It means you're building the foundations so you can run farther, run faster, and go longer. Strengthens your heart, improves your efficiency, and gives you the stamina to crush your next race. So next time you head out for a run, ease up a little bit. Embrace the slow. Your future faster self will thank you. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you know a runner out there who's maybe running a little too hard and needs to ease up a little bit, please share this video with them. Again, thank you so much for being here. Run smarter, go longer, stay ageless. Thank you.